I just wonder, like, what is it about Bob that he, like, you're looking for love? So I just wonder, like, I guess that's how I'm looking at it. Like, what are you looking for in all of these women?
The man is a star, you know, a lot of people, a lot of women want to get to him himself too.
He has so many side chicks.
Yeah, so I'm saying,
we're gonna get to that because
yeah, I'm just saying,
I just got a beef with that.
yeah. Nah. Yeah. Nah. Da-na-na. The Bonnicks on the rise. The Bonnicks are up on your TV. Turn up the volume and put it in a 3D. Yeah, yeah. Gather round, can you see me? Come make we have a good time and be free. Sing it again. The Bonnicks are up on your TV. Turn up the volume and put it in a 3D. Gather round, can you see me? Come make we have a good time and be free. Me talk about everything where you go on, from personal life to politician. Full enjoyment, that we plan. We have to talk about food as a Jamaican, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. The Bonnicks on the rise. The Bonnicks are up on your TV. Turn up the volume and put it in a 3D. Get around, can you see me? But if we have a good time and be free.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today is Valentine's Day. Happy Love Day to all of you all out there, whether you are married, taken, single, unaccounted for, whatever you want to call it. God is love and we all need love. So happy Love Day to everyone. So today is Valentine's Day and I'm with my boo. And we are headed to the movies. So you all know that One Love, which is the movie about Bob Marley's life, is coming out today, or actually came out today. And we are headed to the movies. We're going to have a conversation about it, and we hope you guys will join in. So let's go.
Blessings. So yes, so we're going to try to see the One Love movie, Jamaica. The Bob Marley One Love movie.
Yes, I heard it was really, really good.
Really? Well, we're gonna see for ourselves today. But anything with Jamaica, kinda, you know, them always say Jamaica full of this, Jamaicans full of themselves, you know. But anything with Jamaica, Jamaicans in it, you know, Katania, it always worse from a movie. It always kind of have a vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have pulled up.
I think Jamaicans are good actors.
So, all right, let's roll. Let's just go ahead and park, and because we already got our tickets. So.
Yeah. So I have some popcorn to go get the movie started. How could you come to the movies and not get a popcorn to get the movie started? So my wife, she says she don't need no popcorn. I don't know why Katanya don't need a popcorn, but I will try to share this one with her. Yes, I will try to share this one with my wife. So that is it. That is the end of the movie. And that's Katanya right there in her beautiful bright yellow coat.
That was a good movie. I was about to curse. That was a good ass movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah. I like your yellow coat. It's beautiful. And your boots as well. Your bag is saying one. I like it.
That's a good movie. I can't wait to talk about it.
Yes. So where are we heading to right now?
You want to get something to eat, or what you want to do?
So yeah.
I can't wait to sit down and talk about the movie.
Yes. So we're gonna get something to eat at the same parking lot. We're gonna get something to eat at the same parking lot at one of our favorite place. Salsas.
One Love.
That's
Man,
one
I
love
can't
Bob
even
Marley.
wait to tell you guys, like, just to have a conversation. We're gonna do a video, but we're gonna have to do a live too.
Really?
People gotta see it. Yeah.
Okay, no problem, baby.
That was a good movie.
Okay. We out here. Bless up.
So we're at Salsa's, one of our favorite spots, and just having a little dinner after the movie. And I got some nachos.
Some fish tacos.
Some rice and a salad.
Yeah.
And Mark has a little
Frozen margarita. Daiquiri.
I got a little Jamaican margarita.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have some food, good conversation, drink some water, and go home and talk about this movie.
Yeah,
We're gonna go home and talk about the movie because the movie was so good, and I'm so excited to just talk about it with you all.
Yeah.
So we'll see you soon.
And of course, I did get my wife some beautiful flowers with a little margarita drink and a little chocolate and a gift card. Beautiful.
All right, so let's just jump right into it and talk about this movie because that movie was so good to me. I mean, it was good. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It was awesome because to me, I thought that it was going to be like an autobiography of his life. And it wasn't that at all. And I'm looking at all of these clips, you know, before the movie came out. You know, everybody has all of these clips on like social media, TikTok, Instagram, where they're talking about, you know, their disappointment in the movie and them, you know, Ziggy Marley being like a sellout. You know, the actor that they chose to play Bob Marley, you know, like he wasn't a Jamaican. And I was just kind of like, I'm just going to reserve my thoughts until I see the movie. But I thought that it was going to be an autobiography of his life because we've heard all of these stories about him having like all of these women and being a womanizer. And that's what I thought I was going to see in the movie. So even when Cindy was saying like, you know, or people were saying like she was mad that she wasn't featured in the movie and stuff like that, I was just like, I didn't know, you know, what to think about that. But it wasn't an autobiography at all.
No, it was like actually a real thing of his life, you know what I mean? I think it was just like how we keep on here, them story of his life. They just acted it out back in reality and let you actually see how everything took place.
Like some of the stories that you heard about him.
Yes, like even when he got shot at the house. So you always heard them stories about Bob Marley and they just bring it into visual, you know?
And oh my God, they did a beautiful job of doing it.
Man.
And for me, you know, being like a non-Jamaican, because you always think like Jamaicans know like the life story of Bob Marley. And that's not always the case just because somebody is from somewhere that they know, you know, like every detail of his life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But for me being like a non-Jamaican, I just felt like I got to see who he really was. Like I listened to his music, I know some of his songs, but seeing the movie just put it in like a different perspective. Like I have such an appreciation. And the movie to me really showed him as like a revolutionary. It really showed him as like a catalyst, a messenger of like uniting people through music.
Yes. That's why I tell you, so we always heard of them story and just heard of Bob. And it's like them just bring the story to a visual, to reality, you know? And you just feel a different energy.
Yeah.
To see how him used to live and how him used to roll in a real life.
In a real life, yeah.
Yes.
So let's start with the actor because, you know, I saw the clips like on TikTok and Instagram where people were saying like, oh, you know, Ziggy Marley is a sellout and they got this British actor. They could have found one Jamaican that could, you know, play Bob Marley. And I was thinking the same thing. Like, why couldn't they find a Jamaican? Like, they should have found a Jamaican, you know?
Yes. Jamaicans are great, you know, and me not put down my country, say them not great, but me did trust Ziggy. Ziggy was the one who...
Yeah, because it was like we didn't have a trust in him that he could produce like a character or, you know what I mean? That could play his father.
Maybe it's called the trust because him dad is a high can, a high standard. So if him I go get somebody to play the role of his dad, in which way him know him dad, why would he not get somebody that fit the character
that would serve him justice? Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God. And this actor, his name is Kingsley Ben Adir.
Yes.
And he embodied Bob Marley.
For real, for real. It make you feel like Bob Marley actually was alive.
I was amazed.
Still alive.
I was amazed.
Real, you know
I said they
I
found the perfect person to play him.
That's why I tell you, say, just because you can't follow people, you know, some people just think small.
Yeah.
Just because Bob Marley from Jamaica and it's a Jamaica movie, that means that everybody in it should be Jamaican. Or, you know what I say, or just through Bob Marley is a Jamaican themselves, they want a Jamaican to act back the role of Bob Marley.
Like, why couldn't they even get like his grandsons? I think they said that
yes.
Skip, I think it's the light skinned one named Skip. And maybe he auditioned, but he wasn't a good fit.
He was his grandson?
Yeah, that's his own grandson.
See it there?
They got the perfect person though, because this actor
even the youth dread and the youth can play soccer
the
too.
movements.
Yeah, man.
I was like, even his patois better than mine. I mean, he really did good.
Yes.
He did good, and the lady that played Rita, she was a perfect match as well.
Like, me don't know much about Rita, but as far as me can say, it's a movie and me did enjoy it. The lady stood by Bob's side within, even when Rita check out, like Bob have a show and Rita check out the hospital and him have to look on her and say, yeah, something else.
Yeah.
Like she stood by him so strongly and supported him throughout everything.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that though. Well, okay, first of all, let me just kind of go through, because I want to talk about some things that I did not know about Bob Marley before the movie. So I kind of made a little note so I wouldn't forget anything. Things that I did not know about Bob Marley before the movie. I did not know, I knew he had a lot of kids, but I did not know he had so many baby mothers. I did not know that, like, he had so many kids by so many different baby mothers, you know? I don't know why I never knew that. I never even really thought about it, to be honest. You know, I knew he was married. That's another thing that I didn't know, that him and Rita was married for so long as well.
Oh, so you heard that he have a lot of kids, but
yeah, I knew he had a lot of kids, but I didn't know he had, you know, a couple of different baby mothers. I guess I just thought, like, maybe...
That's your fault, baby. You heard him have a lot of kids. You shouldn't look up. You automatically assume that it's by one lady.
Yeah, maybe not by one, but maybe just two different women. I never really thought about it. I never really even had, like, an inkling to research it or look it up. Like, it just wasn't that important to me. Like, I didn't know. And I guess it was something that really didn't concern me. And I didn't know that him and Rita were married for so long. I didn't know that. I don't know what I thought or what I knew, but I didn't know that, you know, that him and Rita were married for so long. And the one thing I like about the movie, because, you know, a lot of people were saying, like, they didn't show, like, the other baby mothers, you know. But it wasn't really, the movie wasn't really about that. It wasn't an autobiography of his life and him having children and all of that. It was Ziggy Marley and Rita telling their story of Bob, of him being an icon, a revolutionary, of uniting people through his music.
Yeah, more like a positive side of Bob and to get the people them together and them thing.
To bring people together.
Yeah. So as you say, I know a movie definitely I'm life like how him did really a Chad Earth and how him meet the other baby manners them and
It wasn't about him being in those relationships. It wasn't about his relationships that he had, with different women.
well, as I said to my thing is to the ladies was I wouldn't say on the side. I don't even know what to say or how to say it. You know what I mean. So
he had so many side chicks. So I just didn't even know that he had all of these different baby mothers. I didn't know he was basically a womanizer. He had a lot of women, side chicks, and we're going to talk about that because I got a little beef with that.
Well, maybe you and Bob Marley have to go talk about that.
I need to have a conversation with Bob about that.
For real, because I don't know nothing about that.
Got a little beef about it, but we're going to get to it. So, okay, so one of the other things that I didn't know was talking about age difference, age gap. I did not know that his parents had such a huge age gap. His mom was 16 and his dad was in his 60s. And I didn't know that. I never knew that.
That's a huge age gap.
It is. And I didn't know that he was half white. I didn't know that his dad was white.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew, he's light skinned. And I thought maybe somewhere down the line, somebody would have been white. But I didn't know that his dad was actually white. So I didn't know he was mixed.
Yeah, so we just always hear these stories.
So you knew that? You knew his dad was white?
We just heard. Yeah, we heard of it before.
Yeah, I didn't know. So I didn't know that he had all the baby mamas. I didn't know that his parents had such a huge age gap. I didn't know that his dad was white. I didn't know he was married to Rita for so long. I didn't know he played soccer. I don't think I've ever seen any videos of him playing soccer.
And what do you know about Bob Marley?
I know that he made good music.
Okay.
And he was from Jamaica. And that's really the extent that I knew of him, I knew he was a Rasta. Just Rastafari based on, just things we heard, but just so many other details of like his life I didn't know.
Yeah. But you never look up our
no, I didn't have a reason.
That's what
I didn't really have a reason to research it.
Remember, Bob Marley life is a whole history, and if you don't research it, you just heard in parts and other parts, and then you say, "Oh, I'm surprised," but you didn't even research it. You just heard of Bob Marley, and you know Bob Marley as this icon, and you leave it right there.
That's where I left it.
That's what I'm saying. So when you started hearing,
and we didn't hear about him as much, like say for instance Michael Jackson, because I'm in the States.
School. When you go to the school, the teacher ain't gonna give you everything. They're gonna give you some homework, and you have to go home and research it and come back with the answers. So life gonna teach you part, and then you have to learn the next part. But
I just never had a reason to like look up, like even like I said with somebody like Michael Jackson, you see stuff on the news and and all of that. I mean, and I guess maybe because I was a kid when he passed away, I just never really thought that deep about him, I just like, the music and the songs that I knew, I also didn't know that Rita sang backup for him. I didn't know that she sang backup, and I didn't know she was from Cuba. So she wasn't even Jamaican, she was from Cuba.
Yeah, me never know that either.
Yeah.
So I learned something new. That I never know she was a backup singer for him as well. And she's from Cuba. And
also, she was the one who really, from the movie, turned him on to the Rastafarian. How do you guys say that? Rastafarian?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know she was actually the one that really kind of introduced him
to that movement.
To that movement, yeah.
Whoa.
Because I don't know, is Rastafarian, is it a religion?
Yes, more likely, yes.
So yeah, she was the one who really kind of introduced him to that. So
interesting.
Well, you know, that's the way the movie portrayed it. So, and I guess I would believe that because the movie is really Ziggy and Rita telling their story of Bob, you know.
And you see, the rest of children, them not look like them feel no way and make any comments like, oh, other people's do.
It's people. People always the damn problem.
Because Rasta is love, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You ain't heard
you know
not one of his
saying?
kids come out and say nothing against the movie or negative or anything.
Because
know?
Rasta is love. When you talk about Rasta, you talk about family and getting together, communication and make things work. Rasta is not loudness and drama, you know. So them are gonna make sure. Remember, it's one family, so them are gonna make sure everything come together and ask you. Not because it's just Ziggy and Rita playing their role. You think they don't ask the other kids like, what do you think?
And they saw it.
Yeah, they saw
the movie.
it, and they don't want to offend none of the other
the
family. So they're going to make sure it done in a manageable, and in a manner way. You know what I mean? You know what I say? So that's offend. So that's it. Don't offend no one.
And then the other thing I didn't know was Exodus, the album, and they said this is the greatest album of the 20th century. And I didn't know that it wasn't based off of, but it came about, the title, from the movie, The Exodus. You ever seen that movie?
No.
It's like a little scary movie we used to watch when we were kids. And yeah, I didn't know that that's kind of like where they got the idea from. It was like the music in the movie.
Oh.
That's the way, you know, the movie portrayed it. Like it was the music from The Exodus, and they were like, The Exodus. That's it. That's the title of this album. And it was they said it was the greatest album of the 20th century.
Yo.
Yeah. So it was awesome. It was awesome. Like the actor did a superb job. So let's talk about, okay, so let's go back to him having all of these side chicks. I just got beef with that because I love Bob. I love like what he stood for, uniting people. But why was he said he loved women.
Yes.
I saw a clip where he said like all the queens are his. Like he should be able to have all the women at the same time or whenever he wants to, however he put it.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, marriage to one person is a beautiful thing. Like when you find somebody that, and in the way they portrayed it in the movie, like Rita was that person, you know. But then when you read the stories, it's like they weren't together for years, like they were separated. But you didn't really see that part in the movie. In the movie portrayed it as though they still had this great love, which I thought was beautiful. You would never know that they were separated. Even when he was playing a guitar and he was playing, what was the song that he wrote for Cindy?
Yeah.
Turn Your Lights Down Low.
Low, yes.
And he asked her what she thought about the song. And she just said, like, I always love your love songs. But, you know, I saw a clip where she said, he wanted me to sing this song that he wrote for Cindy. And I'm like, I'm not singing that. And I'm like, damn, how disrespectful is that? Like, Bob, really?
Because the man a king, Catania.
She better than me. Because if that's how she said it, like,
Boy.
oh, I always love your love songs. I would have been like, nigga, what? Because Tanya got a mouth on her. Nigga, what?
For real.
I know you just didn't. So I'm like, really, Bob? Like, that's so disrespectful. So I just wonder, like, how did he have that mindset? You know, and I guess you as a man, I mean, maybe you can speak to it. I don't know. Like,
well, I can't speak to Bob thing, you know. Cause me's a man, yes, but Bob have a different mindset from my one. So I can't go down the road or
no, but you
Bob,
were
you know?
younger, you know, when we got married. He was legal for new people that are just watching. Because people like to say, oh, Kimar is so young. Kimar was younger. Yes, you were young when we met, but you were still legal. You know what I mean? But how do you feel like committing yourself to somebody and saying like, because when you say like the rest of my life, that's a long time. You might live to be 100. That's a long time. How do you commit and say, because obviously I'm older than you, so I have been in more relationships than you, so it's easy for me to say this is somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with. But how do you as a young man say, I'm going to spend the rest of my life? That's a long time. So I just look at like Bob and I'm like, you had all these women, like you really didn't want to commit to just one?
Him never commit to one.
How could he commit to one when he got side chicks? You ain't committed.
As what me I say, I don't know, I don't know how Bob's story go, Catania. Bob's story goes.
I ain't trying to hem you up now.
Yeah, I just don't know how Bob's story goes.
That's a big decision to make as like a young man. And he was young when he met Rita. And, from the movie, like he deeply loved her. But I just wonder, like, what is it about men that they have to have so many women? And people compare, like, men to, like, dogs or other animals. And they'll say, like, what other animals do you know that are committed to one woman? Or, what male animals do you know are committed to, like, one woman? And I always just think like we can't compare ourselves to animals because God set us above animals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, give us more sense, a higher standard.
Yes, yes. So I just wonder like what is it about Bob that he like, because sometimes even with women they'll say like especially if you didn't have your father growing up or something like that, like you're looking for love. So I just wonder, like, I guess that's how I'm looking at it. Like, what are you looking for in all of these women? And so for you, even just being a young man, that's a big decision to make, I guess maybe you could speak to it as a man. I don't know.
Hard for commit. From you meet the person come with the qualities that you are look for. Nobody not perfect in our life. You know what I say? You just have to just tell yourself, say, you're going to let this thing work,
Yeah.
And just put in the work.
Yeah, because even him and Rita were like separated, from what I've read since the movie was coming out. They were separated for a long time.
And remember at one point, the man was maybe in England. And then Rita is in Jamaica. Because both of them never got England. So at time to time there was a part.
There was a part because after the
shooting too,
he was gonna come to the U.S. to Delaware.
Yeah,
so really they were almost separated.
Most of their life.
We had like a lot of similarities, like to us, like they had like a long distance relationship. Basically.
Yes, so that me I say so. Sometime with man, if it's in that case. Not say man a genuine and loyal, but sometime in that case, the man is a star. A lot of people, a lot of women want to get to him himself too. And him not always there in him wife arm's reach. As we hear, even sometime when he dep on the phone with Rita, he must say, him love Rita and he wouldn't mind. She there beside him.
She be there beside him, yeah.
One of the time, it was even him tell her to take a trip and come and visit him.
And she came. That was when he was in England. And she came.
So you got to look at it as well. Say Bob was not always by Rita's side, and sometimes me I tell you say, man just different. That's why. That's why you see maybe him tell Rita say he want her on him side and then...
Because he loved her. He loved her.
And he did have a lot of free time. So, when you have a lot of free time...
Idle time is trouble time.
Yes.
He did love her though. Just from the movie, they had a beautiful
So that's the greatest thing. Him love her. That's why I tell you say my feel say him did...
But he couldn't take it when he knew she had somebody.
She never have nobody.
She had somebody. You crazy. She had somebody. Even in the movie, he said, you think I don't know? And she said, well, I mean, you doing it. Rita had somebody, because remember, Rita had another kid by somebody else, and Bob adopted that daughter.
What
I
you
think
mean?
she had maybe 2 kids. She had one kid that they say he adopted. I don't know if he
in
adopted
the marriage
other.
or before.
No, after, in the marriage. This daughter is younger than their kids. She had a kid
So
outside of the marriage.
in the marriage,
So I,
Rita
I
born
always,
him back to and get a kid.
yeah. Even though they were separated for a long time, there was still like I think like an appreciation. As people say, like he put her through hell, and she went through all of these side chicks and stuff like that. But for the majority of that time, they were not together. But I guess even though you're not together, there's still a love that's there.
That's why I tell you some feel say him did dedicated. And what was the word that you used?
Committed.
Yeah. Him did committed, but the man just that him did just she in Jamaica and him was, and he always on tour. Him always just
But
so Katanya.
She could go. She was a backup singer.
She was always there with him.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't. Then how Bob find time to do what he does?
That's what I'm trying to figure it out. Like, really?
Well, that's why I tell you, this Bob Marley story is big. That's why when you ask me certain question, I tell you, you couldn't ask me that because I don't know how to relate to it. You'd have to take up Bob from his death and interview him.
I would love to do that. I would love to do
interview
that.
Interview him about him ladies, them, him side chick them, because me can't answer that about Bob.
I guess, and the reason why like it's on my mind is because he was a Rastafarian, and Rastafarians like portray like this.
Rastafari is love. So leave it right there, sir.
So that's the meaning of it, just love.
Yes.
So that's any and everybody.
Rastafari is love. And that me hear Bob say.
Alright, I'm gonna leave that.
So leave it right there, sir. And love.
I don't understand it.
Love is love. The man say Rastafari mean love. So you know see man just do like and just spread love.
Obviously.
And things are happen throughout love.
Okay, so let's talk about Cindy, because Cindy made this post on his birthday, his 79th birthday, and people were saying like that's disrespectful for her to speak like that about him, and because she was basically a side chick, and she's saying like she's not a side chick, like she was a great love of his life, and they had love.
As I say, I don't know how to digest that. I don't know how to speak on some of these things. For real, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know how. I can't tell you how Cindy should feel or what she should do or how she should post. The fact remain, she was on the side, but as I'm saying, the man.
It was a relationship. It wasn't just that she was a side chick. He was in a relationship. It's not just somebody he was kicking it with on the side.
As I said, Bob makes you feel special, and she have a child for Bob, so
and wrote a song about her.
Wrote a song, so that's a whole relationship for real. So I can't even.
But I was trying to think like if
tell her what to think, or
I was trying to think it like if that was me in those shoes, and I mean, they're not saying like Rita would feel away, because I mean, as time goes on, you both kind of grow up, and
because that me I said the problem was Bob. It wasn't with the ladies.
Yeah.
And then as we say, time has passed, so you can't forgive but you're not gonna forget.
Yeah.
And they are grown peoples. So who fi tell if them not communicate? And they have positive kids too.
They do. They do. So, but I'm thinking like if that were me, I feel like I understand how Cindy feels. She feels like, I'm not just a side chick. Like, we had this great love, and I'm honoring his memory, and I'm honoring him too.
But you're still a side chick.
But you're still a side chick. Yeah, you're not his wife. And it doesn't matter if they were together. He still had a love for her, and she had a love for him.
It no matter the love you have for who nor what, you still a side chick. You're not the man wife or what. So don't matter what, you
I just
are
feel
a
like
side
some
chick.
things just, if that's how she felt, she didn't have to make a post about it. Like that's something like in your heart, and that memory has to live in your heart because he was married. So it's kind of like, as people say, and you're not really bragging on being a side chick, but it's like he was married. So I just feel like, you know, even if that was me, like some things just have to remain like in your heart, you know? So I don't know. I didn't know that she was Damien's mom. I just recently found that out as the movie was coming out.
Yeah, I don't know who is whose mom.
Yeah, I didn't know, you know, that she was his mom, but I mean, he looked just like her, you know?
Yeah,
and I didn't know that her daughter, Damien's sister, is the one that had a child by, what was the guy that got killed? I don't know if he was in a gang or something like that, dog something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that that was her daughter. I didn't know that Cindy was her mom. Yeah. But I absolutely love the movie.
So she have a different dad.
Yeah.
A Tom Tavares or her.
Yeah. Yeah, so I love the movie. Bob was a revolutionary, like his mindset to just unite people was just amazingly beautiful. And, you know, I always think like things happen the way they're supposed to, when they're supposed to. And, you know, he had the cancer in his toe and he didn't want to have, you know, any surgery. He said he wasn't there upon that, you know, he didn't want to have any surgery. I guess maybe because of his religion or whatever. But I liked what Rita said towards the end, that sometimes the messenger becomes the message. In that was all the time that he was supposed to be here on the earth for that reason, you know? He was a revolutionary. A catalyst for change and for love, and, you know, and the way he did that, his intention was to do it through music, and he did just that, you know?
Yeah, you didn't see when the man Rita sit down in front of the man and the man asked him name and him said Nesta and the man said Nesta the messenger.
Rita was about that business too.
Yeah, man.
You remember in the movie when she came and told him about what was the guy that was working with him?
His manager.
Don.
I don't remember what his name, but the one that collects the money. Oh yeah.
Rita was about that business.
Yeah. A lot of time, you know, even right now, you see how Rita was there and how she vigilant, like she could tell who is not good to him.
Because he always kept saying like he not doing it for the music, or as you say, like for the likes, or.
So Rita always even ask Bob about the money, you know what I mean? I say make sure, like, do you know how much the guy charge for the show? And Bob always just relax. I say Rasta thing, Rasta is love, as I say. It's not no money. Africa thing, I don't know money thing. As a man say, I would be surprised what we can build from nothing, you know?
Yeah, because they were going to go to Africa, and he was like, Africa was not a money thing, you know?
Yeah. So even woman good at that, you know, like them can look like, even if you like me and your husband, you can look at you can tell like, man, don't trust that friend, don't trust that.
Yeah.
That's why certain friend don't like when you even bring your lady around too. Them like, why you always bring your lady around? Why you always, you know what I say? So Rita was the one that could have tell and show Bob who is good from not, but
yeah, Rita
Bob
was about that business.
Yeah, Bob was just not listening to Rita, you know, until he find out himself.
Rita is very observant. She sits back and she would watch.
Even from
and
them
she was
get
keen.
Shot.
Yeah, she was keen. So she would see things and understand it, you know. And Bob is more laid back, relaxed, like you, just kind of laid back, relaxed, like you. And I'm about it, you know, about the business, you know. So, but yeah, it was a beautiful movie. I absolutely loved it. There were some things that I didn't know that I learned, but like I said, the thing that I really took away was how revolutionary he was just in bringing people together through music.
And then again, like, all of this, like you say, you didn't know and you learn, and then you look and you say, oh, like, you have a problem with Bob and him bunch
The
of
women.
women and all these things.
Got a little beef with
As
you,
well,
Bob.
may I say,
We're going to have a conversation
you
when
hear
I reach
about-
up to heaven.
yeah, you hear about Bob. It's what you think of him, you know, because you imagine Bob in your head as this.
That's it.
So that may I try to tell you, ain't nothing wrong, you know.
It was like a
It's,
disappointment.
it's you like acting like you're surprised. Now you're trying to help me to get you to figure out Bob and his life. And I'm here like, Tanya, that's a whole story. I can't relate to these things. I can't figure out Bob's life. You know,
It was a disappointment. I was just
I don't
like,
have a bag
really?
of. I don't have a bunch of concubine with a bunch of kids. You know, so I'm just saying.
I liked when he came back to Jamaica and they were at the house and all his kids came around. Like, that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And
But
I-
me see somebody. My bad. Me see somebody come. Like somebody come apologize to him. I don't know if I did the gunman or did the shoot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the guy that shot him in the house, that came and shot him in the house.
So how
And
that
he
the guy
came
to get
back.
access to come
Back
back?
into the house, right?
That
I
me
don't
I
know.
say that so me I look again and me I say
And
but that the
remember,
man
it's
they put
just a
that
movie. It may not have happened exactly like that. Or it may not even, I don't know if that part happened at all.
that me I say but if you know
But-
happen that part is very important.
But it's
too.
a message of forgiveness, you know?
Well if it's even a message of forgiveness it can be, but that part is very important because me I say if it was like that, Bob go down back to Jamaica and then the man's could because if the man come again and said, "Hey man, I'm asking for forgiveness," the man could have come kill you this time. So I was, and then the man walk free, and then the kid come and said, "Dad, who was that?" And Bob Marley never tell his kid no
Ooh,
problem.
He just said just a man who came and talked
Yes,
to
he
him.
always just never tell his kids. Even remember when they shoot up the soccer field, and the kids was like, "Dad, why they coming?" And he was like, "No, man, that was just." One look and start
Yeah.
playing with the kids. Hold the joy,
Yeah.
I tried to
That
take
was
the
beautiful
kids'
about him.
mind. He never let the kids' mind know negative or tell them about negative.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
him always try to keep them in a one positive light. Always.
So, any final thoughts? Like, I loved it. I want to see it again. And I loved it. It just even the message in his songs, you know. Like, it just really brought to light who he was. So if you say, like, who is Bob Marley? And then you go and you see this movie is Bob Marley. That's what it means for me. You know, outside of the kids.
What is
and
a
the
lot
women
of
and all
things take
that.
place. A lot of things take place in a movie. You know. Even the two bad man them what did back in them time. Claude must up on somebody else. Somebody else. Remember the two of them get visa and come to England?
The two guys, yeah.
So I'm like,
I don't know, you know, back in the day, even to America, like, it was easy to get a visa.
but them two guys was two big dons, you know.
They was
and-
like, you need to come back to Jamaica.
Yeah,
We're
but-
going to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
Bob wasn't feeling that, though. He wasn't about that life.
No, him not. Even if him about him, just not trust them. You know, when something happen to you first time, even if you're about the life, you're just not about it with them.
Yeah. And I loved how they showed the clip of him at the concert uniting, what's his name? Siaga and Manley, you know. Then I had to start thinking to myself, because every time you hear Jamaica, I think of Jamaica as like a mini Africa, like Black Power, Black Pride. So where these two white men come from?
Mash up the country, you know.
God!
Johnny,
I had to say, what?
mash up the country.
Michael Manley and Edward Siaga, like, where these two white men? Well, I have to say the same thing now when I go to Jamaica.
Because
where all these
remember-
Chinese people come from?
Because remember, you know, it was them that run in the country even
Yeah.
when Bob gets shot and the country did that run.
Yeah, but even Cindy is like, you know, white, and
I mean, I tell you,
she's
say,
Jamaican, like she was the Jamaican Miss World, you know. But it was a beautiful movie.
Politician them have a lot to do with it too, a lot of corruption.
Oh, that's everywhere.
Mash up the country, man.
That's everywhere. Yeah, that's everywhere. Yeah, I hate politics.
For real, Jamaica is a nice place, you know, Katana, but you see when it come to me not think the Marley movie sell out. Me think everything.
No.
Okay, but me think reason why the people them maybe are get mad because Jamaican, like the little country, they know it's great, you know, and only if the people them did know them potential and see
but what them can do.
Like... But Jamaica one little, me don't know. I lead at them. Because I'm not going to say really the people them. The leader them sell out the country and sell the country so much.
It's a trust issue, but sometimes I feel like Jamaicans are your own worst enemy because of your mindset. Like you guys don't open your minds to, you know,
not all
like
of
even
them. So when you attack, you have to be specific, you know, because you have
not everybody, of course, when you're talking. I'm just saying, like,
so people just know not everybody this goes for. We just a reason in general.
Sometimes, and I mean the same can be said about any other place. But remember when they were talking to the guy? I don't know if his name was Jr. The guy that was the drummer, and no, not the drummer. He had the guitar. Yeah, man. And he played like the rock type music or whatever. And then Bob's people were just kind of like, man, what kind of hairstyle is that? Man, what kind of music he playing?
Bob say, I was thinking the same thing
He was thinking the same thing, but his mind was looking at the guitar and he was still focused like, man,
yeah, Bob did focus, but Bob did kind of joke a little bit.
But he liked the music.
Yeah.
He liked his friends were like, man, that music, da 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 da. So I'm just saying, like, sometimes you gotta open your mind, like, you know, you have to be open because it's so much more than just what you know or what I know or what we know, you know. And just because you don't know about something or, you know, it's new to you or you've never seen it before doesn't mean that it can't be, you know. So I don't know, but I loved it, and it was a beautiful movie. Awesome movie, and I would just implore everybody to go and see it and really make a judgment after you see it, because sometimes we as a people, not sometimes, all the time, we as a people have to do better. We just kind of judge things firsthand without researching or, you know, learning or understanding. And I would just say, see the movie and then, you know, make a judgment, because it was an awesome movie.
For me, the movie was a great movie. You know, I think everybody played their part well, you know what I mean? And I'm extremely proud to be a Jamaican, you know what I mean? As Bob is a Jamaican, and you see he represents to his highest standard, you know what I mean? And as I say, it's just great, you know, to see that Bob is a Jamaican and the movie based around Jamaica, so that gives Jamaica a whole another highlight and just everything, Catania. So
it really magnifies, as you know, people always say about Jamaica One Love. Yeah, it was a perfect title too.
Yeah, man, Exodus. Yeah. So you know what they here, family. Just go and relax. So, don't forget to like the Bonnicks content.
Drop a comment.
Share the Bonnicks content.
And most importantly, hit the subscribe button. And we will see you on the next video. Peace out.
Bless up.